With that, it's time for Super Bowl 54. And we'll send you now to Miami, standing by to call their 4th Super Bowl together. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, the road ends here. It has been a wild, often unpredictable 2019 season. And now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past. And tonight, we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the 6-time Super Bowl champs from the AFC, the Pittsburgh Steelers, taking on the champions from the NFC, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, excited for this one. I mean, Charles, the Steelers back in the Super Bowl once again, their 9th appearance overall, second only to the Patriots 11. But if the Steelers win this one, then they'd be on top of the all-time win standings, as it would be their 7th title.
What a franchise. Come on, join me for a minute, okay? Come back to the 1970s with me. Back to the steel curtain defense. Back to Terry Bradshaw, quarterback. Throwing to Lynn Swann and John Stallworth. Franco Harris running the football with Rocky Blyer. That team was something. All right, and that started the path to where we are right here, right now. This team's pretty good, too. And they want their own history. What an accomplishment this would be to win a 7th Super Bowl title for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Meanwhile, the Buccaneers are back in the Super Bowl for just the 2nd time in franchise history. I know one thing, they'd love a repeat of that first appearance. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cameron Hayward attacking off the edge that time.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual-type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry for James Conner, and he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Called it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now on 2nd and 13, Roethlisberger, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
You could put my hand bottle in the freezer. And can you please pour me something to drink while you in there? Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Not already. Not already. You heard me? This motherfucker throw my weed early, I ain't never pick it up.
First down, it's Roethlisberger. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. The 305-pound Ndamukong Suh fighting the path to the QB there. To try again after the sack. Roethlisberger. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
What the fuck?
But there is a certainty in this game. We know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws in a double coverage there, and look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete, but they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout for the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And this may be a big early turning point in this Super Bowl. They're going to go for it on fourth down here. Here's Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down. Now a first down carry by Jones. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. He goes full extension, and he's got it. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
When the spotlight is at its brightest, and let's face it, it's the Super Bowl, those types of plays come out, don't they?
Absolutely. A big-time catch on the biggest of stages.
Do you think?
And Evans calls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, this is the Super Bowl. A touchdown scored in any game is big. In this one, it's massive.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one. The end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he plays it in. A good pickup there at 22. Now it's Roethlisberger. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Two seconds to go, first quarter. On second down, it's Connor, and he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 6-0 our score after one.
That nigga is dirty.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. Open man, it's Bennett. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice turnover.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, and now it's second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Again on second and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehair. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Jameis to throw it. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast, the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. 2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. A third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on fourth down. Winston looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it, and he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy. Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Connor, and he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And this will be caught. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 36 yards on the play. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster as the first half is winding down. As his guys can now take the lead with the extra point.
We've been together a few years, and you know that I really ride the wave of old momentum, don't I?
Yes, you do.
There is a heck of a difference between being down 6 and possibly being up 1. And right now, they've got that opportunity.
No doubt. That is a big-time score and a big-time swing in momentum. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well.
And Jameis intercepted a third time. He's picked off near his own 48. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The never tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Roethlisberger. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. Roethlisberger now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jordan Whitehair. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. He's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, 49 yards. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
From the gun, Winston. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, All that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme cut?
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change it.
And he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he gets in. And no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead.
All right, partner, one more time. Our whole lives, he put the ball to 3 and kicked the extra point. 2015, they put it on the 15 to kick the extra point. 2016, they said, we're leaving it there. So if you want to fake it, that's a long way to go. And they got it done.
I was going to say they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that on too many play sheets, do you?
No. The Tampa Bay defense coming back out now. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Back to the air, Roethlisberger after the pick 6. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. He was going for the tight end, Nick Vannett. That'll bring up 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Roethlisberger will throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Levante David. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Following the interception, Winston. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. And they turn the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Complete to Washington. There he goes left side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, 52 yards. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the 2nd half, plays to go their way, that's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, Now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now it's a bootleg with Winston. On the crossing route, complete. That's Hudson. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain there of 21 yards.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They'll go again to Jones. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Off the play fake, Winston. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. To throw again on 2nd down. Winston, and a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up the first here on 3rd down. Play action now, Winston. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he let him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Throwing, Winston. He's going to throw his running back. It's complete. And they move this way down to the 9. First and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Winston, and he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Winston now. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. James Washington making his way back out towards the huddle. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. Here's Roethlisberger. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. each game, he's having now 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Winston now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Jones. And they'll get him down right around the 16. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that. And he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic 1st down.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 40. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 23. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about 1 game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd and 1, Winston. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards in a Steeler 1st. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the interception by the Steeler Dean leads to a touchdown. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at their own 37. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. It was Minkah Fitzpatrick that time to break that one up. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running.
This button, you trying to call timeout? Yeah. And you got to press the square button. I got to press it again to go back.
A lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and Winston here to throw. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The end result, 21 yards. Jameis to throw it.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. To the air again with Winston. And my goodness, another interception. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. The interception lows, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 41. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the interception by the Bucs D leads to a touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he's got it. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Well, could also result in a melee later, though. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
One last shot for Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won the Super Bowl, and they will hoist the